Being the Executive Director of the United Nations Environment Programme in 2007 therefore means that I must speak to you about a quality of environmental change that most people are simply not yet prepared to contemplate. And I do not do so because I want to give you a doom and gloom scenario. I'm an optimist, otherwise I would not have joined the United Nations, believe me. But I'm an optimist only insofar as we can change the perception and to some extent the lethargy that still accompanies discussions about the environment. And this turns to the second point. We spent the last 100 years of increasingly understanding what natural sciences, physical sciences, ecologists, biologists were telling us about what is happening on this planet. But we also live for the 20th century with what I would call perhaps the most misleading myth that modern economic or social sciences propagated, and that is that somehow environmental sustainability and economic growth have to be at loggerheads with each other, and that the economic well-being of populations, of individuals, of countries, of nations, the global economy, would somehow have to follow the inevitable path of destruction followed by restoration, and therefore somehow the escape from the consequences that we associate with environmental destruction. Let us be honest, some of our countries got away with it. Got away with it at the expense of everybody else on this planet. And that is why we are arguing about climate change in the year 2007 between industrialized and developing economies. Because CO2 emissions stay up there for 200 years. And it is perhaps sometimes lacking in imagination to point the finger at countries like China and run headlines every week that how dare the Chinese, build a nuclear or coal-fired power station, rather nuclear is coming, a coal-fired power station a week, when in fact the industrial legacy of what is up in the atmosphere has its origins somewhere completely different.